Now available as paperback and e-reader from the author of Spinsterella, A Strange and Unusual Romance, and Spellbound, A Darker Shade of Black comes from legendary Magazine. And you get the conclusion of the Spinsterella trilogy in paperback and e-readers at online booksellers today. I have a question for all of these employers out here. What do you constitute as work experience? Is work experience what you consider a person working at a job for an employer for a paycheck? Is work experience what you consider when a person works freelance and they do a job for someone freelance? Or is work experience something someone does for themselves and comes out with a fixed, tangible product at the end of the day? And the reason why I ask that question to employers is this. I recently got a comment from some individual on my blog which stated that all the books that I have published over the last 9 years did not count as work experience, nor did all of the freelance jobs I have done for many people on different websites count as work experience. And I sat there and I listened to this whole argument, and I had to sit there and ask the question to employers, because when it comes down to some employers, I noticed that they have a very narrow view of what they consider to be work experience. However, the job market has completely changed and the American economy has completely changed. So people are not getting work experience from a straight job where they collect a paycheck these days. Many people like myself who haven't worked at a job with a paycheck have gotten skills and developed work experience by getting work skills from other places. Now, I've done freelance work for a best-selling author back in about 2011, 2012, where I did some ebook conversions for her, and I took her paperback books and I turned them into ebooks for her. And I also did some book projects for an author named Lawrence Cherry, where I took their raw manuscript and I turned that into a paperback book, which was right now available on sale Amazon.com. And I did that not only for Lawrence Cherry for one book, but I did it for 3 books for Lawrence Cherry. And I also did it for a classmate at Monroe College. Now, when I look at those projects that I did, that would constitute as work experience in digital publishing. But however, to the individual who was on my blog making a jab at me, that doesn't constitute work experience, because I was not working at a quote-unquote company and collecting a paycheck, even though I was paid for all of those jobs. But that doesn't constitute as work experience. Nor does it constitute work experience if I go out here and publish my own books. And I've been publishing my own books since the foundation of the SJS Direct imprint in 2009. So I have been publishing books since 2009, and I have a whole catalog of books that are on Amazon.com, which show any employer that there is a whole bunch of products that have come out as the result of my work, products that are readily available for them to review on Amazon.com and other online booksellers, and products readily available for them to purchase on Amazon.com and other online booksellers. So there are fixed, tangible products as a result of my work online and customers that I have worked with in the past, but this does not constitute work experience as it relates to some of these employers and some of these individuals out here. No, they still see things from a very linear perspective as it relates to work and work experience, and they believe that the only experience an individual can have is where they are out here working at some 9-to-5 job for somebody else, and that is the only experience that has value. That is, again, a very narrow-minded view of the work experience these days, because when I look at people these days and how they work, a lot of them are working like me because they can't get the full-time job, so they have to go out here and find a way to make a living. I look at the way many YouTubers are out here, and a lot of these same employers would tell them they don't have any work experience. But when I look at many of their videos, like I look at the videos of people like your Black Friday or your Jake Monroe, they are full-time YouTubers, and their videos are well put together. They take hours to put the editing in, hours to put the shooting in, and hours to put things together and set up these trips and coordinate these trips. And they show their skills as time managers, organizers, communicators, and they also show technical skills with video editing, digital editing, and uploading, and also marketing and promotion. So I see where they have skills making these YouTube videos, and I can see where other people like Turd Flinging Monkey have skills making YouTube videos. And they literally have left, like Turd Flinging Monkey left his job to make YouTube videos full time. So you're going to say that those people don't have experience as well? They're not collecting a quote unquote paycheck, but they're out here and they're working and they're gaining work experience, because it's a lot of work to put together a YouTube video. I know this from personal experience because I do it every day, and putting one of these videos together usually takes me most of my morning, and I usually make 3 videos every morning in addition to writing a written blog and working on book projects. So a lot of these employers will sit there and say, my experience doesn't count, and the experience of all those YouTubers and many other creative people don't count. But we're also all using the same types of skills. I mean, I look at the way I use skills, and it takes a lot of management to do that. I mean, you have to do a lot of planning to put a book together. It takes a lot of organization to not only take that raw manuscript and edit it and revise it, but also to format it to not only be a paperback, but also be formatted for the numerous ebook platforms like your Kindle and your Smashwords. And it also takes more effort after that to network with people like comic book artists towards designing professional covers. And it also takes skill to plan the marketing campaign for many of these books. Marketing campaigns that I usually start 90 days before a book is launched. So there's a lot of work and work experience that goes into that. However, most employers don't see that as valuable because they only want to see something that comes from some other boss. And what they don't understand is a person like me is showing how they are an asset because they show that they can work on their own, they can take a lead of a project, they can take control over a project, and they can set a direction towards accomplishing the goal where they have a finished project at the end of the day. So when they sit there and talk about, oh, you don't have any experience, again, I can say from my last 9 years that I have not worked at a company. I gained a lot of experience doing not only digital publishing, but YouTube, and I've also learned sales while working doing eBay, and I also learned doing sales promoting and selling books on Amazon.com. All valuable skills, but most employers don't see it as valuable because you're not sitting in an office with them or someone like them, and they don't see how you can be an asset to their company because they have a narrow view of what they consider work experience to be. I really think that most employers need to open their minds about the whole concept of work experience, because people are getting experience, but they're not getting it in the traditional way, and they're coming out of the box because they have to learn different ways, because once the economy collapsed in 2008, people had to learn different approaches to finding work for themselves and ways to make money for themselves in order to survive out here in the world. They had to learn new ways to make a living, because the traditional way of making a living where you go to a 9-to-5 job, that ended back in 2008 for many people. So many people over the last couple of years, they had to find a way to make that living. But most employers, they see things from a single-minded view, not the actual view of the world today as it relates to the job market. Their job market is, and their perspective of the job market is still stuck in the past, However, if you look at people like myself, you would say, oh, that they haven't worked at a corporate job or an office job or any job, but they have valuable skills and can be an asset to your organization. Moreover, they can show you different markets and different customers you don't see because they have been out in the world from a different perspective. So I see how I can be an asset to a company and how I can contribute to an organization. But the big problem is when I run into many of these people in many of these companies, they often have a very narrow minded view of things and they see things only from their perspective, which is from the business office perspective of they didn't work for somebody else, but not seeing that this person was working all the time while they were out of work and are still trying to work as they try to look for full time work. All the work that I have done on all these books, again, shows that I am a not only a skilled writer but a skilled organizer, skilled time manager, because I usually publish 4 or 5 books a year, and that takes a lot of planning, organizing, leading, and controlling things all I learned in college as I was studying business, and things that I still apply as I approach building the SJS Direct Publishing imprint. I'm showing how I use skills. Unfortunately, when it comes down to many employers, what they consider experience is what they see from somebody else, not what they can see in the form of a fixed tangible product that is readily available for sale, or a blog or a series of blogs that are readily available for them to review and see, and things that are right in front of them because they're too busy looking for what they want to see and not what's actually there that makes a person an asset, like myself, to an organization. If you'd like to see me make more videos like this, you can donate to my Patreon by clicking the link in the description box. And if you want to try some of the SJS Direct publications, you may do so by clicking the link to Amazon.com. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe.